Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all here this morning. I'm Dennis Akizuki. I'll be your chairperson for this morning's service. Before we begin, just a reminder, please no food or drinks in the hondo. Also, please turn off your cell phones or put them on silent. Thank you very much. We will begin this morning's service with recitation of Sambujo, which you'll find on page 24 in the large service book, followed by sutra chanting Junirai on page 20 in the small Dharma school service book, or page 67 in the large service book. The page numbers for the sutra book will be displayed on the front screen and on your monitors at home, so please follow along. Please rise now for the singing of the Gatha, We Are One, which is the first song in the yellow handout right here.
Come gather round, hand in hand, listen to Amida's teaching. Listen with your heart, listen with your mind, to Amida Buddha's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, singing Namo Amida Butsu. All of the world is bright, singing Namo Amida Butsu. We are one. Peace and harmony, Amida's land. Peace and harmony within me. Put our hands together, bow our heads, thankful to Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, singing Namo Amida Butsu. All of the world is bright, singing Namo Amida Butsu. We are one. We are one. Three treasures? Okay, three treasures. Will you please join a reading of Three Treasures on page 3 in the Dharma School Service book. Hard is it to be born into human life, and now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning. Welcome to this morning's service. All of you gathered here in the Hondo, and those of you who are watching or streaming either live or at some later time, thank you for joining us. I'd like to begin by reading the first Dhammapada that's in our Service Gatha book. So if you will open to page 24 in the Dharma School Gatha book, you might follow along. Let me just read through it. You don't have to respond with where it says everyone. Just let me. So that's again on page 24. With our minds, we make the world. Speak or act with meanness and unhappiness will follow you as surely as a cart follows the ox that pulls it. With our minds, we make the world. Speak or act with kindness and happiness will follow you as surely as a shadow follows the person who casts it. He insulted me, he beat me, he threw me down, and robbed me. Dwell on such thoughts, and your hatred will never cease. He insulted me, he beat me, he threw me down, and robbed me. Put away such thoughts, and hatred will never arise. For in this world, hate never yet has dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This law is ancient and will last forever. This is, as is on the title, top of the page, is from the Dhammapada. Dhammapada is a collection of sayings, and there's hundreds of these that are in the collection entitled the Dhammapada. And if you can Google anything nowadays, so if you Google Dhammapada, you'll find these, and some are more recent translations of the Dhammapada, but there are many collections of translations of the Dhammapada on the internet. So take a look at it, and in particular, the collection called the Couple, I think, are these kind of not call and response, but they're first statement and then response kind of couples of these Dhammapadas. But I wanted to, but to read this Dhammapada this morning. Sometimes in our life, as it is today, there's a lot of challenges in the world around us. Whatever we might think of our politics, wherever we land on the political spectrum, we see it in the world around us, and many times we may not know how to respond, or we may respond in a way that may generate more disagreement, may generate more anger or hatred. Buddhism, at its core, really, I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh who said that his religion is the religion of kindness, and I think that's true at the core of the teachings of the Buddha. Wisdom and compassion, kindness, these are things that guide our lives, that guide our interaction with the world around us, how we engage the world. It's not always easy to be kind. Takes courage to respond in a way that is not in anger, but rather one that is measured and thoughtful and centered. Takes courage. We have examples of that throughout history, in our modern history. People like Gandhi and Martin Luther King, who took example from Gandhi, and how responding to the troubles that were going on around him, that the call was for peaceful opposition. Because in that, when we are able to settle ourselves and respond to the world from that settled position, it's not through anger, it's not through disagreement, but rather it's through a relationship that we share with others, that even those who disagree with us, who may cause us to be upset, that person is still a person, and that person is responding through that person's understanding of the world. And however we might think about that, our disagreement may simply arise from our inability to come to terms with these differing perspectives. But if we respond in anger, our own view of the world begins to become clouded. We see only the other person not as someone that like ourselves, but rather who represents this thing that I am angry with. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it takes great courage to be able to do that. When the during the civil rights period, when John Lewis, and that group of people in Selma walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, it took great courage to not respond in anger, but to walk across that bridge and to make this statement of the need to acknowledge and to recognize all of us. And it took courage to walk across that bridge, to face the anger and the hostility that confronted them, and to return again, and to finally make this walk to Selma. Many times it's we're put in a position, whether it's in a conversation or in a protest somewhere or out in the streets. Many times we're confronted with that situation where we are we're put in a place where how do we respond? And from a Buddhist perspective, I think we need to remind ourselves of the need to respond in kindness, to express that which affirms one another, rather than diminishes the other, rather than takes the other simply as a part separate from who I am. It's very clear from the very beginning in Buddhism, and I've mentioned this innumerable times, but Buddhism begins with this fundamental question: how do we resolve the difficulties that we cause and experience? And those difficulties, we see all around us now. And how do we respond? Do we simply respond as we have in the past, or do we try to understand that the difficulties arise from our inability or our tendency to see the world through our preferences, our likes and dislikes? It's not that we need to abandon our preferences or our likes and dislikes, but to understand that those preferences, likes or dislikes, originate from who I am, and that I might be expressing something to someone who is being angry that contradicts what their understanding or beliefs are. And that in this confrontation, if we look at only what my preferences or my likes and dislikes are, we may not be able to recognize the other as simply another human being. And it is so important that we do that we recognize and we acknowledge the value of the person that I might be disagreeing with. I mean, I can still hold on to what I think of as important, what I think of as valuable. But how I respond will determine whether or not a conversation can begin in which we can begin to talk about what those differences might be. And then from that conversation, begin to recognize or begin to work toward a resolution of these difficulties that we experience. And again, the Four Noble Truths, right? We experience difficulties. The second of the Four Noble Truths, the cause of those difficulties, is my tendency to see the world through our preferences and likes and dislikes. But the third says we don't have to remain there. We don't have to remain in that state of agitation. But we need to be mindful. We need to begin to think through and cultivate a mind that simply sees things as they are. Not through just my perspective, not through just my point of view, but rather begin to settle that mind that sees things only through what I like, what I don't like, and begin to respond and engage the world from a place that acknowledges that, but also opens up the possibility of other views and perspectives entering my world. Sometimes that's impossible. We cannot give up on principles that I hold to be true, that are so valuable to my life. To abandon that is impossible. But yet, there still can be conversation where we can agree to disagree. We need not resort to a hatred. We need not resort to anger, but rather be able to converse and to acknowledge the other as just as important as who I am, just as important as and valuable as I am and I understand those who are close to me. This Dhammapada that I've read from, again, you can kind of take a look at it. I'm not sure. I think this is from that section called, it's either the pairs or the couples, but it's not from the very beginning of the collection of the Dhammapada. This idea of making a statement and then responding to that statement, going back and forth, making a statement and responding to that statement. These passages that are listed in the Dhammapada, and now they're so accessible, right? We can find them very easily if we are interested in looking at what's being said, what's being expressed in the teachings. We can find them, not just the Dhammapada, but we can find things that are at the core of our understanding. The collected writings of Shinran are on the internet. This thick 2-volume writings of Shinran can be found on the internet. And I think it's searchable. I was trying to, many years ago now, trying to, trying to write the Tanisho. I guess it was Pearl. Anybody familiar with Pearl? Oh, okay. There's a few other nerds in the room. So Pearl is a language used to write what is it? Programs. Coding, yeah, programs. And so I was using Pearl to try and write this Tanisho that was searchable, so that if you're interested in finding some reference in Tanisho, or something in the Tanisho that you wanted to kind of explore more, you could type in this word that you're looking for, and they would all come up. And I began with this short Tanisho with the intention of doing other works later on. But it was too much work to do that. It was and the provider, the internet provider that we were working with, I think was getting tired of me asking questions of how to work this thing. So I thought, well, I'll finish this Tanisho and then stop. But now with this collected works of Shinran, and again, you can take a look, go search for it, because it's a complete works of Shinran, very much visually, very much like what you will see in the hard copy of the collected works. And I believe it is searchable. searchable, right? Yeah. So, it's a woman, I think, a minister who began this work, and there are people who precede the work that she did, both electronic work and, of course, the collected works, the written works. There are people like Jerome Decor of, see MIT? There's a MIT. He's in Europe, okay. And there's a MIT group that was also working on providing information, Jodo Shinshu information on the internet. And it's been over like 20 years, maybe 30 years that this work has been going on. That now we have this rich resource that's available to us. And we simply need to kind of make ourselves available to that information. But the Dhammapada, one of these collections of writings that from the time of, I don't know if it's specific to Shakyamuni Buddha's time, but over time, the collection of these verses now available on the internet. You can go ahead, take a look at it. But throughout, whether it's in Shakyamuni Buddha's time or the centuries that follow, or in Shinnan's time, it is always reminding us, the teachings of the Buddha is always reminding us of the need for compassion, for kindness, a willingness to look at ourselves, that in the language of Jodo Shinshu, the wisdom of compassion so shines within our hearts and minds that the mist of error and the foolish vanity of self may be dispelled. To see, to be able to see, to look carefully at those imperfections is possible because of the compassion. And it is so important at this time that we remind ourselves of the need to be kind to ourselves as well as to others, and to allow ourselves to begin to cultivate a mind that simply sees things as they are. Once again, on this Dhammapada verse, something that perhaps may help us in our journey negotiating the difficulties and the challenges that we face in our everyday lives. So this last paragraph again, or last two couplets, reads, "He insulted me, he beat me, he threw me down and robbed me. Put away such thoughts and hatred will never arise. For in this world, hate never yet has dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This law is ancient and will last forever." Namanda, namandos, namandos. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rinban Sakamoto. That was a very nice talk and very relevant, I think, to what's going on in today's world. Are there any, please rise now to sing Gatha Ondokusan II on page 76 in the small Dharma School service book.
種知識の音読も骨を砕きてもシャスべし。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ。Thank you. Please be seated.
Are there any announcements?
Just a real quick reminder that Rinban's retirement party will be Saturday, November 1st. If you haven't already RSVP'd or signed up, please do so. Space is limited. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm May Kawamoto, Dharma School Superintendent. Just a reminder that Dharma School starts next Sunday. So we'll have the Dharma School service at 9:30, and there'll be a lot more people here. See you all next week. Thank you.
Morning, I'm Kenji Akahoshi, and I just wanted to remind people we have this Dharma Forward campaign going on, which will end at the end of this year. I know we have our own Dharma Center campaign to solicit funds, but this is BCA's effort in contributing for the future of BCA. There are 4 pillars, and Lisa Tsuchitani and I are chair of the Ministerial Support. And we get to figure out how to spend money from this Dharma Forward campaign. One of the examples of that, Michael Jones was a recipient after getting his Kyoshi, $2,000. So it's this is how BCA is helping us. But in order to do that, we need to collect funds. So I know we do have our Dharma Center, but there's also Dharma Forward. If you want more information, I have a booklet back there where you could ask me. And there's more information that was in the Wheel of Dharma last month, or I guess the month of July, okay, or August, one of the issues.
Yeah, that Dharma Forward program is really important. It kind of is also an attempt to establish endowments that will continually fund programs in the BCA. So if you are able to, and you know, part of that is the chairs that are at the Institute of Buddhist Studies, and there is a Tokunaga Hojo chair that we initiated that is not yet fully funded. So you know, keep those kinds of projects in mind. And what's nice about endowments is that they continue to generate revenue through investments that actually run the program. So there's initial investment from all of us, but that investment then hopefully generates funds to be able to increase that endowment, and at the same time generate enough revenue to sponsor the program that it intends to. So, like the Tokunaga Hojo chair at the Institute of Buddhist Studies is one of those kinds of examples, and the Dharma Forward program is another attempt by the Buddhist Churches of America to fund itself through endowments. But very important program.
Good morning, everyone. I was going to make an announcement about Viva Calle, but I already see that it's on the agenda, so I will instead remind everybody that SV Pride is happening this afternoon. There's going to be a festival at Plaza de Cesar Chavez. I will yield the floor for Viva Calle.
Good morning. Just a note that on Monday, September 8th at 6:30 at the Wesley Methodist Church, a presentation and panel will be happening called American Teenager. And this is author Nico Lang and Pastor John Oda of Wesley in conversation about a book that Nico Lang wrote. And this is entitled How Trans Kids Are Surviving Hate and Finding Joy in a Turbulent Era. So I encourage you, it's online, you can find how to register for it, but it's right down the street at Wesley. And it's in partnership with San Jose PFLAG, and if you remember at Obon, our Mina Nomura booth is occupied by not only Mina Nomura, but also San Jose PFLAG and a couple of other organizations, including South Bay Korean Asian. So these are groups that really help us, the Billy DeFrank Center, to get the message across that we're a welcoming and open community here. But I really encourage you, if you can, to attend this. Again, that's Monday, September 8th at 6:30 at Wesley.
I do have Viva Calle written down here, but you could have said something about that. So next Sunday is the first day of Dharma School, but it's something called Viva Calle. If you're not familiar with that, that's something City of San Jose does to promote, different uses of the street. They close down streets, and it's going to be, I think, Jackson's going to be closed, and people will be bicycling and rollerblading and skateboarding and walking around. And so, what does that mean for us? You won't be able to reach the temple from the south. You're going to have to come down north from Taylor and heading rather than Jackson. So just a warning about that. And then parking may be issue, but I think we're going to make sure that all the parking is available for us here. So that's next Sunday. Just be aware that you won't be able to reach us from the south.
Anybody mention Organization Day?
Yes, it's Organization Day. So what does that mean? Organizations, all the temple organizations are going to be having a representation like a table in the gym. And if you have any questions about any of the organizations, you can join organizations there. But that's one way that we can publicize all the things that we do and give you an opportunity to learn more about them and hopefully participate in them.
Okay.
And we'll thank you to Rinban Sakamoto, to Reverend Jones, Organist Elaine Jones, AV Coordinator Kevin Kitagawa. Thank you very much for attending this morning's service. We will now have closing Gassho.
Kansho, please. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, everyone.
Please come up for incense offering and join us for refreshments in the multi-purpose room.
Thank you. Good morning. Almost there. Hi, Shiz. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Matane. It's warm. Good morning. Good morning.
I might miss next week's service. I'll see. I was going to be out all day Monday.
Good morning.